Here comes your pre-market summary for Monday, March 20th. Futures back in negative territory this morning after briefly getting positive early on this morning. It was a very negative start to the futures trading session late on Sunday. That continues into the pre-market here after this news over the weekend of UBS buying Credit Suisse, bailing out essentially a forced marriage, as a lot of analysts have been calling it this morning after what happened last week. So potentially a little more negative pressure coming for banks this morning. Here's how futures are setting up so far today. 0.13 to the downside for the S&P. The Dow basically flat at this point. Same story for the NASDAQ, 0.14 in negative territory. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a higher open, 1.2 there for crude oil, back to the downside. Another bump for Bitcoin and Ethereum, holding on to nice gains that started over the weekend. That's how the S&P 500, or the SPY in this case, is setting up. A red candle on Friday. It was a negative week for all three U.S. indexes, the NASDAQ included, even with a couple of positive days going into the weekend. Let's have a look at JP Morgan. What a week it was for all of the big banks. More concerns after this news over the weekend that, UBS picking up Credit Suisse, $3.2 billion all-stock deal that was basically forced by Swiss authorities. So more to come on that front as well. More to come from FRC. Downside in a big way this morning, under a ton of pressure once again. About 21% in negative territory so far on a private placement coming through this morning for FRC, trying to raise more liquidity. All of the big banks that were involved in the deal for FRC last week under pressure. Goldman, Citi, Bank of America here, to name a few, all downside here in the pre-market. Microsoft showing a little bit of relative strength here in the pre-market, along with the rest of big tech once again. Minor note, they're planning a mobile game store to rival Apple and Google's that have similar. PDD downside in a big way. They reported not a good report for Pinduoduo, down about 12% after missing Q4 revenue. Coin higher along with the rest of crypto-related stocks on that really nice move for BTC and Ethereum over the weekend. Grab the watch list, guys. We're coming up here at 8:30. Use a QR code on scene. On screen. I'll see you shortly on TraderTV.Live.